That is not a good look for you. Here, give me your hands, or you'll just go and smudge yourself again. And, by the way, don't let me get away with that.
Away with... with how you acted?
That was unacceptable.
I think that's on you, Dad. I've got no means of punishing you, or even thwarting you from doing it again.
I know that. But it was wrong of me. Not sure how to do an I'm sorry when the goal is to not do something. I'm really more of a doer than a talker. And saying the same thing more than 20 times seems pointless. 21 times, I'm sorry.
You scared the shit out of me. I'm growing up. Life is changing, and I'm going to make lots of mistakes and bad decisions. But I'm sorry. I'm really sorry I pushed you so hard. I'm sorry I broke your rules when I know they're only there for my sake. Sandro called me crazy little clown. Did you hear?
And loudmouth, which seems to be his preferred epithet for you. I heard him call you something else. Something like a name. He was almost awkward calling you Anna.
I named myself. I didn't have a real name, and I wanted one. So I named myself after you. I named myself Wildcard.
Oh, that's clever. Completely opaque and ironically crystal clear. You know, I actually been making something for you, and I'd needed an idea for branding it. It's not done yet, but would you like to see?
I don't think this is an appropriate time to give me presents, seeing as you and I are both technically in some kind of timeout.
Well, you can't have it yet. Besides, it's relevant. Highly relevant. I've had to gather a number of, very specific materials.
What is it?
An outfit for you. While you're out and about. Your old stuff's a little small on you. A little shoddy. A little slapdash. I thought I'd start needling together an upgrade. Only I've had to wait and nick bits and pieces quietly from here and there. The outer fabric won't tear for anything, effectively making it stab-proof. Course you can still take a puncture wound if you're hit hard enough. That's why I'm around the chest. Need to find a balance elsewhere between carbon fiber plates and, you know, elasticity and flexibility.
It's lighter than my current stuff.
And it'll stop more, too. Costs a small fortune.
This is so cool! What were you saying about branding?
I wanted to put something on it. Something in white. An IM logo of sorts.
You've been making me a superhero costume?
Well, one side of the fence or another. I promise not to mind either way. Anyway, I was testing out designs.
How does one test out a design?
So, there's this booming little silkscreen company that runs out of New York, and it has this website and this program where you can make up t-shirt and hoodie designs and sell them. They do the work. You get a small royalty. But if people buy enough of a shirt you've designed, The company actually puts your stuff into the stores. And guess whose shirts the kiddies just love?
That's my dad, setting fashion trends for the future.
The purple tux never did catch on.
Aw, see, but that's your thing. You've always been the artistic one, Dad. It's true. So let me just get this straight. You're gonna design logos for me, wait to see if one gets explosively popular, and then brand my superhero costume with it to make it look like the logo came first, and I just took it as my own later on.
Well, I thought it might be fun if I could brand a few hoodies for you as well. One should always be free to feel themselves. No. Though let me tell ya, Squirt, you ever want quality, you gotta know it's more than just waving handfuls of moolah in the air. You gotta know how to buy. And Bats is good for that, sources his mats with an enviable finesse.
You steal from Wayne Enterprises?
Oh, he rarely orders the good stuff through Wayne Enterprises, but same basic premise. And he always orders surplus and plans a margin of error for people skimming free samples of the top. I just make sure I get those samples, if I want them.
The amount of information you just know about people is amazing. Like, sometimes I have brain farts realizing just how much you see going on everywhere all the time. Have you figured out who my Aikido instructor is? Jane?
Her name is Mary Jane Parker. She's your childhood hero, Squeeze.
My childhood? Spider-Man? Spider-Man has a girlfriend?
Wife, if last name is any indicator. And here Peter Parker managed to reproduce. Amazing, I know. Or else some outpours or got bitten by a radioactive spire. Because word stirring there's a little spiderly occasionally sneaking out where it oughtn't.
Oh my god. My brain. Spider-Man is slowly getting old. Everyone has names. Sometimes they have girlfriends and get married and have children. Pfaff. You're behind, old clown.
Here, since we're both equally in time out, we can share the punishment.
I don't think this is a punishment. You're cooking, Dad. You need to start a restaurant to go with your new fashion design brand.
Thanks, Spurt. I know you say it all the time, but it always meant something to me you liked my cooking.
Dad, your cooking is legendary. Hey, depressing topic change for a second. Humor me? You said something about my birth parents while you were screaming at me earlier. I don't need to know. I know the reason you won't tell me is because you don't like having done it and think that I ought to hate you. And yeah, sometimes I wonder about where I came from, but making up the story myself seems almost appropriate, so if you never work up the courage to tell me, I still forgive you. Anyway, I wager that half the reason we hide is because people would institutionalize you and take me away. But the other half is because someone was after me once, and if that person is so good at this game that you fear them to this day, I wish I knew their name so I could hide from even a whisper of them.
Let's put the answer to that at anyone with money for now.
Except Batman?
Let me ask you a question, Squirt. You ever wonder why you can't sense future reflections from me?
Yeah.
It's because I won a game of lots. Intentionally, ironically, and only because so many other people wanted it, and I just wanted to steal it so I could laugh at them when they lost. So now, there's a psychic bridge built between you and I. Your brain was rerouted to. Shun some of your ability over to me. So, when a future directly pertains to or stems from myself, I can see it, and you can't.
You can see the future the same as I can? How? How has this never come up before now?
Well, considering my reaction to the bridge was to go stark raving mad and end up muzzled in a straitjacket, let's just say I had some very nice appreciation for how frustrating a talent it was for you to live with on a daily basis. And I didn't really want to talk about it.
At what point did I end up in your custody after that?
When the building was on fire and collapsing from the ballistic missile explosion, which was how I got free. I felt you die from smoke inhalation in the lab room where they were keeping you, and realized your entire gift had a very real chance of escaping into my head if you kicked the bucket, which is creepy even in retrospect. How is that even possible? Anyway, that was the very last thing I wanted to have happen. So I found you, and I resuscitated you instead of, the opposite, and took you. Not a very heroic motivator, I know.
Well, I already knew it couldn't have been heroic. Did you think I'd be mad? If the media is consistent about anything in its depiction of the Joker, it was that he sort of was incorruptible in his own way. Not someone who felt shame or randomly adopted babies. But you did, and you're not really the same person now.
And that doesn't, bother you?
Honestly, it's kind of flattering to think my ability to produce an infinite stack of dirty diapers was somehow a motivator for a mass-murdering evil clown to decide to settle down and go, I like this! I think I'm gonna be an amoral dad clown now! Yeah! That sounds like what I want to do! Yeah, you are the villain, guys! This is my shtick now! And it's so much cooler than yours! Just saying. Wouldn't have topped my list of things I assumed could happen.
You have a tremendous ability to leave me feeling like I have no control of a situation, which is weird. Don't you think? 'Cause, that's usually my thing that I do to other people.
You raised me, old clown. Whose fault am I but yours,
Boop.